Hi there folks, my name's NovaWing24 and welcome to another little review of an FSX product. So today we're going to be having a look at the Final Approach add-on for FSX Steam Edition. So we are going to be looking at the Steam Edition one available from the Steam store. We are looking at that version today, though the review will be pretty much equally applicable to the standalone third-party available version available from your favorite flight sim retailer as well. So, Takeflight Interactive. Well, first of all, we want to say thank you very much to the wonderful guys over at Dovetail Games for providing me with the review copy of this add-on today. Takeflight Interactive, so they sort of stormed onto the scene about 18 months or so ago with the release of the Air Alaska mission pack, and they've got quite the pedigree in them, with being a lot of them being former members of the Acer Studios, who actually obviously brought us Microsoft Flight Simulator X in the first place. So a lot of them, aiming with their aim to actually bring a lot of mission-based gameplay back to our flight simulation experience. And after Air Alaska, they kind of went very, very quiet, and we didn't hear much from them. And then they've come back onto the scene with Final Approach, and they have another impending add-on coming out as well, which hopefully we'll be looking at in the near future. But for now, yeah, we're going to be looking at Final Approach. So. First off, let's jump into it. So let's have a look here. So of course, here we are in Steam Edition. So to access the missions, once they're installed, we are heading over to the Missions tab, and then to sort through those, we're going to select our category here. We're going to go down to Takeflight Interactive. So you can see here I've got all the Air Alaska missions here, and there we are, we've got the Final Approach missions. So the Final Approach series essentially aims to actually put you in a series of challenging scenarios in actually bringing a larger aircraft in on an ILS approach. Now, whether that be coming in on using ILS because of poor weather, or bringing it into approach into something with fairly short runways. So there's six missions included in this. So there's a basic ILS tutorial, which walks you through the basics of how to use the ILS, and then goes through a series of 5 actual missions, which actually give you escalating different scenarios from different types of weather, whether it be wind shear, whether it be blizzards, whether it be storms, or whether it be trying to practice an LDA DME approach, which is always fun, trying to turn 45 degrees on final. Always a barrel of laughs. Anyway, one of the cool things about this, though, is the fact that this all uses default aircraft. Now, you can change the aircraft if you wish, if you want to use one of your own third-party aircraft, but you don't have to purchase anything. There's nothing else is required for you to actually be able to enjoy this. So this uses a range of the aircraft, so from the CRJ 700 included through to the included 737-800, all the way through to the default 747. So it's got quite a range here. So for these missions, now it is only, as I said previously, Takeflight do only do sort of 5 mission sort of packs. So you get 5 missions plus a tutorial, which is pretty standard for them. And as I said, it's a fairly I find it a fairly consistent and a fairly steady learning curve to actually be able to do these. So we're going to fly one of these missions today. We're going to have a look at that one. But I have done them all. They are all reasonably well done. But let's have a jump into one and have a look. As I said, the thing is that it's all about the experience and putting you into something that you might not normally fly in. We're giving you without having to actually purchase anything additionals, which is kind of cool. Alright, so which one shall we do? I think we might come into... Let's take a nice simple journey into Seattle, shall we? I think we might do that one. Alright, as I said, okay, so when you once you've selected the mission that you're going to be doing, click on the Go to Briefing down the bottom right here. Now what that will do is that will then load the approach plates. So much like the mission briefing in the default missions, this gives you a bit of information about the airport you're flying into, and a few little pilot's notes of actually sort of what to expect coming through there. So basically, essentially, it also helps you if you're not familiar with translating things like these. It'll actually be able to sort of give you a layman's explanation of what the weather will be like. So, for example, fog is present, so, you know, fog in Seattle, how unexpected. Apparently that's a thing there in Seattle. There you go. So low visibility on grounds, okay, and you've already got your clearance there. Now, with part of these missions, you do have an interactive, well, not interactive, but you do have a co-pilot with you, who will actually do a lot of your checks and actually go through checklists for you and handle your communications with air traffic control, which is always kind of good, so you can focus on flying the aeroplane. Alright, so essentially, as I said, in the mission briefing, you get these pilot's notes, you get some weather information, and then you'll get the approach plate for the airport as well, so giving you some of the fixes you'll need to be in as you come through. So there you go, good to have. Possibly the only thing that's a little off with this is that you don't have the option to print this out. So the normal missions and most missions that you come through, you have an option to actually sort of print the briefing page, so you can have these notes with you as you fly. Unfortunately, that's not an option for you in this one. It's only a small thing, but yeah, if you are wanting to play and you want to be able to look at it, yeah, it's not there for you. Anyway, so as I said, we're going to be doing our trip into Seattle. So let's click fly and let's jump straight into it. Alrighty folks, so here we are in mission, so we're in high above the foggy skies of Seattle in our 737-800. So all of the missions will start you in this way, which will start you paused. Currently on vectors to final with your autopilot engaged, taking you on towards the final approach fix. And then what will happen is our trusty co-pilot who will be handling the ATC comms. He will switch over and he will turn off the autopilot at the final approach fix, and we'll fly our instruments down to the runway. So let's unpause here and get ourselves underway.
Pacifica 586, maintain 3,000 feet and fly heading 240 until established on the localizer. Cleared ILS runway 16 left approach. Contact tower on 119.9er when established.
Fly heading 240 and 3,000 feet. Cleared for the approach. Contact tower when established. Pacifica 586.
Alright, so as I said, part of the challenges of ILS approaches and what this mission pack really tries to do is actually get you to actually use the instruments and put you in scenarios where you have to use the instruments to be able to get you down. So, for example, here we've got our, you can see we've got our we've got our ILS information here. So we've got the red pips, or the pink pips. We've got the one on the right is our glide slope indicator, and the one at the bottom is our left and right, our azimuth. So yeah, it's going to be, the idea is we're going to be wanting to, as we turn on our vectors final, they'll be centered, and we're going to want to try and keep those centered all the way down is going to be the aim of the game today. So yeah, as I said, all the missions start you like this with the vectors final, so you know you don't have to fly the full flight to get here. So it does put you in a scenario straight away, which, you know, and that's probably what this is good for, because it is there to actually give you the training and put you in scenarios that you might not be familiar with, or might not be comfortable, might not know how to create. So, you know, could you not do this and sort of, you know, do this yourself? Well, potentially you could. But, you know, this is a great way to actually put yourself in scenarios where you have to sort of, you know, learn and upgrade your skills. And this is a great way to actually put your skills to the test. Now, this, as I said, this is only the first one after the tutorial, so this one's reasonably easy. But yeah, it's still, you know, it's really easy on the surface, but it still can be a bit of a challenge to master, particularly if you're not used to ILS approaches and things like that, and actually be able to operate on just your instruments. Alright, as we do our final turn here, we're going to start dropping our flaps out. Enjoy the foggy skies of Seattle as we come in here. Alright, now no guarantees I'm going to get this right. Well, as I said, it's all part of the challenge here. Alright, get the approach. Gear down.
Seattle Tower, Pacifica 586 on the ILS 16 left.
Pacifica 586, wind 142 at 10, runway 16 left, clear to land.
Clear to land, Pacifica 586. Flight attendants, please be seated for landing.
Alright, we're closing on our final approach fix. Watching the needles. As I said, you get this bit of a visual reference, and even in an ILS approach, you're still supposed to be able to have a visual reference to the runway when you're at minimums, which is why they're called minimums. So hopefully we can guide our 737 down today for this one.
Final approach fix. Your aircraft. I'll contact the tower.
Warning the
Deactivating autopilot.
Yep, there it
You
goes.
have the aircraft. Alright, before landing checklist. Gear, down. Flaps, set to full. Lower
Flaps.
full flap.
Flaps, too
Free break.
fast, too
Arm.
fast.
Auto brakes, set to 3. Autopilot, disengaged. Landing checklist complete.
Okay, coming in a little below the slope. Arrest that descent a little. Okay. Definitely well below the slope. That's not good. As I said, it definitely
Too high,
presents you
too
some
high.
chances. Oh, okay.
Approaching 16 left.
Okay. A little bit to the right.
Decision height. Do you have the runway in sight?
Runway in sight. A little bit off to the right. Oh, skidding a little bit. That's not good.
Pacifica 586, turn left when able. Contact
Well, we
ground
definitely
on
took the edges of the runway, that's for sure.
Pacifica 586. Left on the taxiway, ground point 7.
Alrighty, so yes, this is part of the challenge that this actually gives you. Is it puts you into real meteorological conditions where, you know, ILS is very important, and ILS is something you're seeing that it's very simple in concept. But yeah, when you're manually flying down ILS, it can be quite challenging, and it definitely challenges you to learn the aircraft. And as I said, it's all done with default aircraft, so it's a common base platform. Yeah, you can substitute your own aircraft into this one as well to keep you interested and entertained, and learn these skills in your own aircrafts. And that's what this is kind of good for, is that it does give you that base learning for actually be able to put these skills to the test in not just you know, default aircraft, but you can also challenge yourself with your own aircraft as you're learning to fly other aircraft and put yourself in those scenarios. You know, can you make these scenarios yourself? Probably, but as I said, it's great to be able to have these actually you know, preset for you, and these situations really done and preset for you, and easily accessible. And as I said, ILS is a technique that is challenging, because you do have to rely on instruments and trust your instruments. And something that, you know, seems easy, but can be very, very hard to master. So there you go. In terms of finishing the mission, as it's just pretty much, yeah, just taxi off, exit the runway on the side that tells you to exit off, and then you are good. All right, so that's that mission done. Let's quit this mission here. There we go. Okay. So one thing I noticed as well is that, you know, okay, maybe it's a small thing and it's not really part of the mission, but, you know, there's no sort of, you know, rewards earned or anything like that. It's, you know, no badges or anything. I know that it's like falling that category of Steam achievements and stuff like that not everybody's chasing them, and, you know, it's not for everybody. But that was one of the cool things that, you know, you got to actually, you know, sort of see, and in the FSX missions, and a lot of mission packs that are out there, they give a little, you know, maybe not a medal or something, but a little thing to say that you've actually completed that mission. So anyway, there you go. That's missing from these. So there we are. And once we've done that, we can then end our mission there. All right. So, as I said, just a quick one. We're only doing the one mission. I don't want to spoil the surprise for the other ones, but as I said, you got the tutorial mission, you've got the Seattle Clouds one, which we just did. You've got a short field landing in Hawaii. You've got an LDA, a DME approach into DC. You've got stormy conditions, and you've got a blizzard. That one is quite interesting as well. That one is really quite interesting. Well done. Overall thoughts, as I said, the scaling of the difficulty is quite linear. It's quite smooth. And it is quite good for that, and it is quite good because it will put you in a situation that you might not normally be in, and give you challenges both for a newer pilot and for a pilot who's wanting to grow their skills. You know, it's because it's not about pressing a couple of buttons and letting it do its thing for you. You still have to fly the ILS yourself. You know, it doesn't let you just sort of take the easy option, as it were. You still have to fly yourself, so and be aware of your aircraft and all the things you're supposed to be doing. So yeah, overall, look, I think it's quite good. The price is pretty good. Like it's $6. So essentially, it's a dollar a mission, and for that, it's quite good. I think there are a couple of things that they're a little annoying. As I said, maybe it's just me and it's just a small thing, but not being able to print my approach plate is, it's a thing I'd like to be able to do, just to be able to have the reference information in front of me. The voice acting is a little flat. The interaction could be better, but it is about putting you in the challenging scenarios that you have. So, if you're looking at expanding and finding a way to challenge yourself, probably not a bad little investment. As I said, and one of the great things is it doesn't require any extra add-ons. So yeah, I think it's quite good for that. As I said, $6 US or thereabouts. So not a bad price. A dollar a mission for something that, yeah, as I said, it's reasonably. On the surface it seems easy, but flying instruments, especially learning to trust your instruments in zero visibility, is quite a challenge. And being able to learning to hand fly ILSs and stuff like that is a lot more interesting than just pressing a couple of buttons. So, yeah, overall, I think it's reasonably good. It's pretty good value for money. It was always nice if it would be more missions, but as I said, for putting you in different challenging scenarios, I think it's not a bad investment. So there you go. Alright folks, so that has been my quick little look at the Final Approach mission pack add-on from Takeflight Interactive. Once again, I do want to say thank you very much to the guys over at Dovetail Games for providing me with the review copy of this add-on today. I hope you've enjoyed this video. I possibly might do some more of the missions in the future. I don't know. It depends. It depends if you guys want to see them or not. But as I said, otherwise, if you are looking for something to give yourself a little bit of a challenge and put you in a scenario that you might not know how to put yourself into, this probably wouldn't be a bad thing for you to consider getting. Maybe for more advanced pilots, it's probably not going to be so much for you. Though, having said that, it's always not a bad idea to maybe find a way to test yourself. So, maybe think about picking up anyway for a little bit of a refresher course on your ILS. Alright folks, thank you very much for joining me in this little review of the Final Approach add-on from Takeflight Interactive. Don't forget, as always, to like the video and subscribe to the channel if you're enjoying these videos and want to see more. And of course, as always, you can catch up with me in between videos and all things I'm up to between videos by finding me on Facebook and on Twitter. Just search NovaWing24. Alright folks, thanks very much for watching. Take care, safe skies to all, and we'll see you next time. Bye for now.